Okay, so we will now do some numericals on impulse momentum theorem. Whatever we studied in the previous class, उसको एक बार revise कर लेते हैं. We studied that impulse J is equals to change in momentum. Apart from that, we also studied the impulse of a constant force F average into delta T. This was impulse of a constant force, so F average equals to J, or it was also equal to delta P. So obviously F average we can find just by calculating impulse by delta T or by calculating delta P by delta T. So these are the important concepts जो कि हम लोग use करेंगे to find the different quantities asked in numerical, है ना? So let's start with this question. Suppose कि एक 80 मीटर हाइट से हमने एक बॉल को रिलीज कर दिया and this ball reaches up to this. ये 2 kg का बॉल है, ये ऐसे आता है, टकराता है and then it goes up to 20 मीटर of height, है ना? 2 kg का ही रहेगा obviously. And during the collision जो इसका contact time था वो delta t था 0.01, है ना? सेकेंड, 0.1 सेकेंड ले लेते हैं, बहुत छोटा हो जाएगा. तो डेल्टा टी वो 0.1 सेकेंड. ठीक है, वी हैव टू फाइंड इंपल्स एंड एवरेज फोर्स जो कि इस 2 kg के बॉल ने इस फ्लोर पे लगाया वो निकालना. इंपल्स एंड एवरेज फोर्स, these two things we have to find. How we will find that, let's understand. सबसे पहले this is initial momentum P1, this is final momentum P2. ठीक है, so change in momentum or J is simply delta P. What is P2? See, जब h height से रिलीज करते हैं तो वो जस्ट पहले जो वेलोसिटी होता है that is given by root under 2gh. So this is initial velocity जिससे बॉल टकरा रहा है. So root over 2 into 10 into 80, so it comes out to be 1600. 1600 root over, so it comes out to be 40 meter per second, है ना? So initial velocity with which the ball strike the floor वो है 40 meter per second. Yes. And now जिस height तक वो जाता है वो वेलोसिटी भी इसी एक्सप्रेशन से हम लोग लिख सकते हैं. v2 equals to also root under 2gh. So root under 2 into 10 into h is 20. So this will be 400. So 20 meter per second will be the velocity. So final velocity जो है just after collision वो 20 meter per second है. So can we write P2? P2 final momentum कितना है? So 2 into 20 j cap ऊपर की ओर है. So 2 into 20 j cap, this is 40 j cap. Similarly, can we find P1? Yes, P1 is 2 into 40 minus j cap, नीचे की ओर है, so it will be minus 80 j cap. So once we get this, can we find j? Yes, we put here, this is simply equal to P2 minus P1. Yes, also 40 minus 80, so it will become 120 kg meter per second g cap, or you could have written ns Newton second. That is also acceptable. Okay, so this was the impulse. Once we have got this impulse, can we find the average force? Yes, average force is nothing but F average equal to how much? J upon delta t or delta p upon delta t. So this is known to us 120 upon time, जो time approximately लग रहा है, that is 0.1. So this is 1200 Newton of average force applied by the floor on the ball. Okay, because this floor has applied the force and that is why the momentum change has taken place in the ball. Okay, but because of Newton's third law, the same amount of reaction force will be applied by the ball on the floor also. Yes, this force will be upward and the force which ball applies on the floor will be downward. Okay, so this was one of the questions based on impulse momentum theorem. I hope you have understood. Please copy this. Okay, so there is one more question that we will do based on this, and that will be in two dimension, and then we will proceed to the next part. So that question is like this. Suppose we have a wall, this object of mass 2 kg moving with velocity 20 meter per second strikes the wall at an angle 37 degree. What you have to do is to find the impulse applied by 2 kg body on this ball and the average force. So you have to find J, you have to find F average. This is what you have to do. Can we do this? क्या हम लोग ऐसा कर सकते हैं? क्या हम लोग बता सकते हैं? Provided velocity after collision is also 20 meter and is at angle 37. ठीक है, ये भी दिया हुआ. So first thing that you should know, ये 37 डिग्री 53 डिग्री के sin थीटा cos थीटा के वैल्यूज आपको पता होने चाहिए. So let's understand, है ना? एक ट्रायंगल है. This is angle 37 degree. This is 53 degree. 37 के सामने वाला साइड 3, 53 के सामने वाला साइड 4 और ये 5. यहाँ से आपको sin थीटा, sin 37, cos 37, sin 53, cos 53, whatever is required that you can get from there. कैसे निकलेगा? जैसे suppose यहाँ cos 37, sin 37 की बात होगी, तो cos 37 क्या हो? Cos 37 will be base by hypotenuse 4 by 5. Similarly sin 37 क्या होगा? परपेंडिकुलर बाय हाइपोटेनस 3 by 5, है ना? इस तरह से ये वैल्यूज हम लोग इस ट्रायंगल की मदद से निकाल सकते हैं. दैट वी कैन डू. नाउ व्हाट टू डू विद दिस? सी वी कैन ब्रेक द फोर्स, ब्रेक द वेलोसिटी इनटू डायरेक्शंस, है ना? ये 37 डिग्री है, सो यहाँ पे दिस इज 37, दिस इज आल्सो 37, सो दिस इज 37 डिग्री एंड सो हियर वी विल गेट cos 37. तो यहाँ पे आ जाएगा 20 into 4 by 5, which if you multiply comes out to be 16, और इधर जो आ जाएगा that will be 3 by 5. When you multiply that you will get 12. तो इस डायरेक्शन में 12 होगा. Again here you see this is 37, तो इधर cos 37 आएगा तो इधर 16 होगा और इधर जो आएगा वो 12. ठीक है. So we have to first find P1, initial momentum. कितना होगा? mass 2 kg into initial velocity. तो I cap डायरेक्शन में 16 I cap is the initial velocity और J cap डायरेक्शन में -12 J cap is the initial velocity. Yes or no? Similarly, can we find P2? Yes, mass is still 2. Minus I cap direction में -16 I cap velocity and J cap direction में -12, है ना? तो -12 J cap. If you see कि यहाँ पे जब इस तरह से collision होता है, then y component of velocity is not changing. Y component of velocity remains constant. Y component of velocity remains constant. So you simply find delta p. When you find delta p, तो क्या होगा? When you subtract p2 minus p1, so you will see कि these two cancel out, and you will get -32 -32. So you will get -64 I cap. So this is delta p, which is also the impulse, and this is also impulse. How can we find F average? Again, यहाँ पे कितना collision time है that must be given. So let us assume that time is again 0.1 second. Then you will be able to find F average, और ये F average आएगा equal to delta p upon delta t. This delta p upon delta t, what is this? -16 J cap upon 0.1. So the total force will be -16 160 Newton J. So this is the average force which is applied by the wall on the ball, है ना? The equal amount and opposite force will be applied by the ball on the wall due to Newton's third law. So I hope you have understood this. Please copy. Okay, so now we will see the impulse using area. Can we find the impulse of this force? The force acts for 6 seconds. First it starts from 0, becomes 100 at 2 seconds. Then it remains constant for 2 seconds. And then for the next 2 seconds it reduces and becomes 0 at t equals to 6 seconds. So impulse बहुत आसान है graphically निकालना. It is simply area under force time graph, है ना? Area under force time graph जो होता है वही impulse है. So can we find this area? Yes. How do we find this area? This is simply a trapezium. So half into sum of parallel sides is 2 plus ये side 2 है ना 2 second और ये पूरा 6 है. So 2 plus 6 sum of parallel sides into height is 100 है ना. ये जो length है वो 100 है. So this area gives you the impulse. So simply it is 8 by 2 means 400 Newton second. This is the impulse. तो बहुत आसानी से एरिया वाले क्वेश्चंस भी होंगे तो we will be able to do this, है ना. So impulse इस तरह से हमने निकालना सीख लिया. So this was like first Newton's first law of motion. We will do more numericals on Newton's first law. And first law there is no more numerical, but on Newton's second law we will do more numericals at the end of the chapter. Okay, first we want to study all the theoretical concepts. So impulse is over. Now we start Newton's third law of motion. Newton's third law of motion. What is Newton's third law? It says that every action has its equal and opposite reaction. So basically it says what? Let's understand. See, suppose the two body collide. This is body 1 and this is body 2. So this body must have had experienced some force on 1 due to 2. F1 to force on 1 due to 2. This 2 also has experienced some force, which we write as F21, force on 2 due to 1. Yes. So this Newton's third law of motion says that if one body applies force on the another body, the another body will also apply equal and opposite force on the first body. So basically F12 and F21, these forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. So they are basically negative of each other. They are negative forces of each other. And that's why we can write F12 equals to minus F21. Force on 1 due to 2 is equal to negative of force on 2 due to 1. This is very basic. But how do we get this? How do we derive this relation? Let's understand. So suppose the two bodies have collided and during that they have applied these two forces on each other. We have to reach up to this expression. So now think of this. If we think about their individual momentum, will it change? Yes. Momentum किसी भी बॉडी का जब तक बाहर से एक्सटर्नल फोर्स ना लगे चेंज नहीं होगा. So if we talk exclusively about one, अगर केवल one पे ध्यान दें तो one के लिए two एक्सटर्नल है. Yes. So 2 is applying force on 1, तो क्या 1 का मोमेंटम चेंज होगा? Yes. 1 is applying force on 2, तो क्या 2 का मोमेंटम चेंज होगा? Yes. दोनों का मोमेंटम चेंज होगा. लेकिन थिंक ऑफ दिस कि अगर इन दोनों को एक कंबाइंड सिस्टम ले लें तो क्या टोटल मोमेंटम ऑफ द टू बॉडीज चेंज होगा? आंसर इज नो. क्यों? इस पूरे सिस्टम को अगर एक सिस्टम अज्यूम कर ले, है ना, तो उस केस में बाहर से कोई एक्सटर्नल फोर्स नहीं लग रहा है, देन दीज टू बिकम इंटरनल फोर्सेस। इंटरनल फोर्सेस जो है उस पार्टिकल्स के या बॉडीज के पूरे सिस्टम में, इंडिविजुअल बॉडीज का तो मोमेंटम चेंज कर सकते हैं बट टोटल मोमेंटम चेंज नहीं कर सकते हैं, दैट्स व्हाई टोटल मोमेंटम विल रिमेन कांस्टेंट। सो व्हाट वी विल से दैट मोमेंटम ऑफ p1 प्लस मोमेंटम ऑफ p2 फॉर डिफरेंट टाइम्स विल बी कांस्टेंट। ठीक है, p1 में चेंज यस, p2 में चेंज यस, बट total momentum will remain conserved. Okay, so this is one very important part. Now based on this we will prove this relation. How we will prove it? So let's understand what is a force on 1. Force on 1 due to 2 is equal to rate of change of momentum of first body with time. Do you agree with this? Yes, you must agree with this, है ना? Change in momentum of the first particle, rate of change of momentum of the first particle is the net force acting on the first particle. Similarly, rate of change of momentum of the second particle is net force acting on the second particle. सेकेंड पार्टिकल पे जो लगने वाला फोर्स है वो रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ सेकेंड रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम ऑफ सेकेंड पार्टिकल के इक्वल है। फर्स्ट पार्टिकल पे लगने वाला जो फोर्स है इट इज इक्वल टू रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ मोमेंटम ऑफ फर्स्ट पार्टिकल। सो बेस्ड ऑन दिस व्हाट वी कैन से, अच्छा यहां पे पहले इसको थोड़ा और आगे बढ़ाते हैं। p1 प्लस p2 मस्ट बी इक्वल टू p1 डैश प्लस p2 डैश। p1 फर्स्ट पार्टिकल का इनिशियल मोमेंटम है और p1 डैश फर्स्ट पार्टिकल का फाइनल मोमेंटम। इनका मोमेंटम इंडिविजुअली चेंज हो रहा है यस, इसका मोमेंटम इंडिविजुअली चेंज हो रहा है यस, बट सम चेंज हो रहा है नो। सो व्हाट वी कैन राइट, है ना, इन दोनों को उधर भेज दो। तो बेसिकली यू विल गेट p1 डैश माइनस p1 प्लस p2 डैश माइनस p2 equals to 0. So what you can write, this is simply delta p1 and this is simply delta p2. So what do you get? Delta p1 plus delta p2 equals to 0. Can we divide here by delta t? Yes. So if we divide by delta t, so it means what? Delta p1 by t, delta t plus delta p2 by delta t should be equal to 0. What is delta p1 by delta t? It is f12. So what do we get? f12 plus इसको क्या लिख सकते हैं? f21. The sum of these two is 0. Yes, and hence you will get f12 equals to minus f21. I hope you have understood.